Hello everyone. Welcome into episode 75 of the Scope and FPS podcast. And a little bit of a spoiler alert. We actually have some games to talk about this week. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, man.
A lot. Dude, it's a good time to be a shooter now.
Finally.
Remember when we were complaining there's nothing to play? Now there's too many games to play.
Do you remember that time like 2 weeks ago when we didn't have anything to play? And yeah, Pepperidge Farm remembers.
And the time for that before that.
Yeah, like the preceding 3 months of Yep. It's been rough, but here we are. Yeah, Blue's here. We were terrified last week because Blue didn't show and I was freaking out, and I was bummed, man. I was excited to talk to you about all the summer game fest.
I know. I'm here.
Life happens.
It happens, but I'm glad you did good though. You did good. There was a lot to talk about that day, and I was so upset. I'm sitting there I was watching the stream, but I couldn't even type anything.
Dude, I talked for like an hour and a half straight, and like I couldn't even talk to my wife. When I got done, I was like, what are we gonna make for supper? I was like, I couldn't even talk. It was wild. But it was fun. It's cool to have some stuff to talk about. It seems like I thought this, like when I started the podcast, like all those weeks, 75 weeks ago, give or take, that it would be hard to come up with stuff to talk about. We've always had stuff to talk about. There's always a little something here or there. Even if we just talk about the FPS games and stuff that we've been playing, there's always at least something to talk about. And it gets a little skinny sometimes, but it's nice now. We got a lot of topics on the old chart today to go over.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get into the games, let's have a little intro time. Let's have a little catching up with BlueTheRobot about what we've been up to, because you and I have both had an eventful week, and I think it'd be fun to talk about.
Very eventful.
How's your tweet going, pal?
Oh, hi, son.
Hey, what's up? It's Mini Blue.
Yeah, thank you, bud. Little Blue, guys. Little Mini Blue.
Shout out Mini Blue.
Dude, can I just say real quick too? I saw him today. He was playing like on his tablet, a little like mini like Temple Run clone. And to see him actually understand the game, I was like, hey Lucas, can you come over here real quick? And I was like, that's my son's name. And I was like, hey, come over here real quick. And then I'm like, hey, this is what we're making for breakfast. He goes, okay, cool, Dad. Hey, can I go back to play my game? I'm gonna lose. Like, he said that as clear as day. I was like, my son's turning into a gamer.
Happening before
and then I saw him play Temple, like the Temple Run clone. He was actually like swiping up, swiping down, going left, going right, actually like navigating. And then he would show me his high score at the end. I was like, that warms my heart.
That's good stuff. Happy late Father's Day on that note, by the way.
Happy late Father's Day to you too.
Thanks,
yeah.
No big deal. It's my first one.
First one. That's the first one's always the coolest. First one's always the coolest ones, and then you get things like moments like that. Eventually, it just starts building more and more. We went to Waffle House with my dad and my son and a couple other members of the family. We went to go eat at the good old Waffle House.
We went and met my dad at Freddy's, so we had the dads together and met there. Nelson, what's up with Blue's mic? I think it sounds all right. Echo?
Blue mic busted. Echo? That sounds good on me.
It sounds good on my end. Maybe you have two windows open?
Hello?
Anybody else in chat hear weird stuff? It sounds good to me. Yeah, it's not coming through on two inputs on OBS. It should be all right.
Yep. On air technical. No, we're good. It's like a weird echo thing on the stream.
Really?
Oh, it is there. What?
How is it echoing? Because there's no... That's really weird. Would it be feeding back through my stuff? We've never had a problem. But I
don't hear anything on...
Because I'm watching OBS and it's not making anything.
It sounds like I'm in a cave.
Does it really on the not making anything?
It sounds like I'm in a cave.
It does. How?
What?
It's not making anything.
Sounds like I'm in a cave.
It does. How?
How? What?
I have no clue how that's even happening, dude.
That is because it sounds good on my. Hold on, let me double check. Let me like do.
I just pulled up the stream.
That is. I did, and now it sounds. Did it, Chad? Did it just happen out of nowhere, or? And now it sounds. Oh, this is. Did it just happen? This is weird. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything even on my end.
How would that be?
Yeah. Okay, so it's not okay. I double checked. I recorded a quick clip on Audacity, and it's not even there either.
What if it's on? What if we go to the screen share scene? Is it in this scene? Go ahead and talk.
Test 1 2 1 2. Hello, guys.
Is it in this scene?
Sorry about that. Test 1 2. It's still there. Hello. Okay, I'm gonna back out. I'll come right back. How about that?
Okay. All right, guys. We'll be right back and figure this out. Stand by.
Boop, boop, boop.
Okay. I have an idea.
Wait. It sounds good. Hold on. Give me a second. I'm letting the stream catch up. No, it doesn't.
Hold on. Dude, I figured it out, I think. Okay, now try to talk.
Hello, guys. Welcome back to the Scope Podcast.
Did it work?
It's kind of good. Yeah. Hold on. I was talking weird, so maybe if I just talk normally. Okay. Yeah.
I think we got it.
Do I sound a little too loud?
It shouldn't be
on the voice. No.
Try again. Talk again.
Am I just a loud person today? Maybe.
Maybe you are. I think we look good.
Okay. I think. Okay.
Guys, we're back.
We're good. We're good. We did it. Okay.
Okay.
Well, what did you fix? What button?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, we'll move on, guys.
No, it was the production
and the show
team.
continues.
It was the production team.
I love how the production team, guys, step it up.
They
we don't pay
up.
you enough.
I had my microphone set as my stream mix, and that includes the web browser, and it was getting feedback from the Video Ninja website and putting it through the stream, even though it wasn't showing up in the waveform because I think it was instantly on at the same time. That's on me. We're good. We're fixed. We're back, baby. Just had to give us a minute. It's fine. Don't even worry about it. Okay. What were we talking about?
Eventful weekend/week. Things happen to us. Let's start with yours first, because I feel like mine might take just a little bit longer.
Well, yeah, your Twitter drama. First off, final touch on the Father's Day thing. I'm excited for when he's older and I start getting like the hand-drawn pictures and stuff for like the presents.
Preschool, like, and he brings home, look what I drew at school today, dude. Best feeling ever.
I'm excited for that. Okay. All right. So for me, I had a wild weekend. I had a viral tweet last week. Not a big deal. Not as crazy as Blues. We'll get to that. But the other night I was playing Rainbow Six Siege. I was actually trying to set up some conglomeration of bullshit to multi-stream me playing Rainbow Six to a lot of different places. That was the day that XQC signed to Kick for up to $100 million, which I could talk about. I could do a whole podcast on streaming platforms right now. I love talking about the business side of that and stuff, which is ironic because he got paid all those millions of dollars. And yesterday he was just, or the other day he was just streaming Batman Dark Knight. He had like 62,000 people and he's just watching a movie. That's talent. That's content creation right there, baby.
I can't, dude.
It's rough. It's crazy. So he made $100 million to watch movies in front of people. Anyway, yeah, dude, I was playing Rainbow Six Siege. I was like, whatever, I'll just stream to Twitch, playing ranked with the boys, and Jinxie raided me. If you guys aren't familiar,
yeah, I don't know who that is. Yeah,
he's like, if not one of the biggest, if not the biggest, Rainbow Six creator on Twitch. Also really big on YouTube. He pretty much brought single-handedly brought Twitch streaming Rainbow Six category back. And a few months ago, he was the most, I think just before Kai did it, I think he was the most subscribed to Twitch channel for a couple months. So he was like the top of Twitch.
Wow.
And he was playing a different game and rated me with 4.2 thousand concurrent viewers. So I had 4.2K in chat. And
I remember like I came in, I was like, hey, what's up, dude? And you were like, oh, playing Rainbow Six and stuff like that. And then I step away, come back, and all of a sudden I looked on the left, and then I have it set from like high to low for viewers, and then you shot up to like the number 2 on my list. I was like, wait, what? So.
Yeah, no, it was crazy. I had like 3.3K for a long time, and then it hung out above 1,000.
Give me a second.
All good. It hung out like above 1,000 viewers for a ridiculously long amount of time. So I appreciate everyone being there. I was drunk, really nervous, and not paying attention very well at all. But yeah. So shout out to Jinxie. There is a 0% chance he watches this bullshit. But that was really cool. And then the coolest part is so that was amazing. Like that's something I'll never forget. And then the coolest part is that there's been people coming back from Jinxie's raid every night. We've been having really good viewership on Twitch the last few nights. It means a lot that those people thought enough of me to come back. And that's always the cool part. It's like when you get a big raid like that, but then you have some guys that like, oh, okay, I actually do enjoy this guy's stream, which means he chose well. You're always streaming Rainbow Six anyways, so yeah. But no, it was really cool to see. Did
you get a little drunk that day?
Oh yeah. I mean, it was a weekend, man. It was a weekend.
That's
I was
true,
actually,
too.
and I
That's
think the reason like he was scrolling through and picked my stream is because I was also smoking a fat cigar. So it shows
This
like the little
man,
Twitch thumbnail.
100%.
So I probably had whiskey in this hand and a cigar in this hand, guns in the background. He's like, let's pick this guy.
Six.
Yeah. Yeah, he picked me, but it was pretty cool. I was honored and it was just neat. whatever happens from now on, I don't know. But that was fucking cool.
Yeah, that's my mentality as well.
It is what it is.
Or whatever, yeah, for whatever happens, because then my stuff happened.
Yeah, what's going on?
I'm
gonna pull that tweet up.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, Blue, what have you been up to in the Twitter sphere, pal?
So just apparently leaking stuff. That's what people were saying. But I'll just do a quick synopsis for people who don't know what's going on, because I know some might know, some might not. If you do keep up on my Twitter or my YouTube and stuff like that, basically I reached out to I'm not even mentioning a name. Actually, don't even pull it up, to be honest.
Okay.
I reached out to a Star Citizen creator. They basically had some of the most rudest interactions I've seen through content creator, collaborations. Telling me, a simple no thank you would have been nice, but that creator basically said no chance. Go build your own, saying that that YouTube is a business and it's cutthroat. That was one of the biggest things that came out from that. And then I posted it on Twitter thinking, all my past tweets, if it got 30 likes, I'm like, yeah, this is doing numbers. This is fire. And I didn't think it was gonna do that. And by that I mean it shot up to, I think it's at 700-ish likes, 800-ish likes, 170,000 views just on that tweet alone. Wife's calling me.
Did you beat my Battlefield map one?
What is your Battlefield map one, actually? I'm curious.
Oh yeah, way off. How many likes did you have?
Let me double check, actually, because I don't remember.
I had 860 likes, and
you actually beat me for likes,
and then 82.3k views.
Yeah, so it was 603 likes, but 173 views. 173,000 views. Funny. It was the comments that were just, because it was comments and comments and comments, replies. Everyone had their own 2 cents to pitch in. Most of it, I would say like 95% was supportive. 4% was unsupportive. And that 1% was just crapping on me or trying to dox me. There was a guy that apparently started bringing up Florida statute law to say something. Oh, the business conducted between two entities and communications, if they're, that those are supposed to be like only between those two business entities and stuff like that. It's like, and then everyone's like just replying back, like, dude, it's Discord. Who cares? Like, it's not, this isn't what that is at all. It wouldn't, and he blocked me, but someone retweeted it and I saw what he said for some reason, even though he blocked me, and he was like, good luck making content from jail or something like that. Just
whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude.
Nice.
And first of all, he said Florida law, and I was like, dude, if you try to come into my house, good luck. First of all,
pull up, baby. No, what?
So that was the most only extreme part, but everything else was fine. I went from 800-ish followers on Twitter to right now currently sitting at 1,072 just from that.
Nice. Oh yeah, I also broke my I had a goal, like by the end of the year I wanted to get 1,000 followers on Twitch. So I was at like 910 or something that night, and now I'm at 1.3k. So we made it. Like just from that one raid. That's crazy. So you had a guy, so you had like people shitting on you and trying to dox you and pull the law book out and threaten you. So you know what that means, Blue? It means you had a banger tweet, pal. It means you had a good tweet, baby. That's what that means.
And then, I had like Operator Drewski, a bunch of other YouTubers like Karmika, Control Pairs, Batty is a good streamer on Twitch as well too.
Yeah, he's awesome. Yep.
They all came out and support and stuff like that. They followed me. I mean, and some people were already following me, but it was cool. Custer was like, "What the hell's going on?" You know.
Yeah. No, it's that's cool to see, because in my experience, everybody I've met through YouTube has been awesome. Like I've reached out for some different collabs, and I've had a lot of really cool guests on this show. And most of the time, people will take the time and come hang out and talk, and they're really nice. And the people that have turned it down have just said, they're busy or that doesn't work out at this time. And I'm like, cool, thanks so much for answering. If open invitation, if you ever reconsider, reach out. Okay, thanks. And it was cordial and everything's fine. Like, why?
Exactly.
You don't have to be. You don't have to be a dickhead.
And the thing is too, it's like I reached out and I probably could have made the initial tweet or message better, like more detailed. Like, hey, this is who I am. It's maybe like put in my sub count, the view count for that video that I was talking about that blew up, and that blew up, but and then when she well, I guess it says she now, but when she said that, basically it was like it opened the floodgates. I was like, no, I meant like no disrespect. I just wanted to clarify. I heard you guys do this, that. I thought it was really cool. And then it was like the most like, maybe not narcissistic, but just like full of myself. Like, let me be more concise is what the next message started with. Like trying to like put me down almost, of like, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just a new YouTuber, even though I've been doing this for a minute.
Yeah.
And
no, it was really condescending and snappy and shitty and uncalled for.
And then of course had the very basic apology post on their channel that, people were screenshotting and sending to me. And it was a long apology. Okay. And I say that like half apology, because it went from like, I'm sorry, I should have never done that. It was rude on my part. And then it went, I was tired. I didn't get any sleep, that and yada, yada. I built this organization because it's a lot of hard work I've done with this, and it's very valuable to me. And I'm like, I'm sorry. That wasn't, I accepted it. It is what it is. Like I said earlier, let's just move on. And of course, people were like, you can't move on. You posted, leaked DMs. Like, it's not leaked. It's not private. I'm sorry. It's not a private conversation.
Yeah, that's weird. Was it under NDA?
Yeah, exactly. We didn't sign a contract or say that off the start, but you know what? Hey, regardless, a lot of support came my way. A lot of cool people reached out. A lot of influential people in the Star Citizen community reached out as well too.
Cool.
For support. So I think that was really cool to see, especially new to that community and new to making content on that game. It's pretty cool to see like, oh, there's actually a really good clique of people and stuff like that.
Most games there's bad apples and everything, but most communities are pretty good.
Most communities are, I would say.
But all right, man, we had an eventful week.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Do we talk about video games?
We talk about video games now.
Let's do it. Before we get into that, just really quick housekeeping stuff. Thank you guys so much for being here. This is an audio podcast, so if you guys want to listen to it, God forbid, in your car while you're driving to work or something, you can do that. It's on all the platforms. You can just search the scope, or there's a link down below in the notes, in the description, wherever you're checking this out at. You can click on that and it'll take you to the RSS feed. You can click listen on, and then any platform of your choice, and can take you there. So we've been doing really well on the audio podcast platforms, really well on the downloads, closing in on 3,000 downloads. So really cool. Really cool, and appreciate the support over there. And love you guys that listen in. Also, just to add to that fact, a message for the podcast listeners. If you guys do want to catch us live, we're over on my YouTube channel. That link's down there below. Monday nights around 5:30 Central, 6:30 Eastern is when we usually go live. Give or take a little bit of time getting stuff around. We're both busy, but usually around then we go live if you want to hang out with us live. Also, the VOD stays up on my channel if you want to see our beautiful faces. You can see it there. And then Also join Discords and hang out if you want to chat. Any ideas, any news stories or stuff you'd like us to see, feedback on the show, would love to have that in the Discord. So with all that being said,
BRB for another 2 seconds.
Okay, sounds good. With all that being said, and everybody also can see that the people that are here, chat is on the screen. We love hearing from you guys, so keep chatting it up. So that is on the screen, so when people go back and watch the VOD, they can see what you guys are saying. That's why it's up on the screen. I want you guys to be part of the show and chime in with what you're feeling and what you're thinking. So the first thing we're going to talk about is, and I thought this might happen. I think I called it. I might have called it. We need to go. Might need to find some receipts. But Battlebit is doing really, really well. I thought it would be because everyone was loving it. And if you watch the numbers, you could still look at the playtest entry on Steam charts. And every single time they would tweet and have a new playtest, you would have over 30,000 concurrent players just show up at a random different scheduled time. And it stayed that high. So people are loving Battlebit. It's cool to see. And I guess my biggest takeaway from this, or my biggest hope for the Battlebit success, is that it shows in a big way that the Battlefield formula isn't dead. The traditional server browser, classes, non-specialist, that kind of gameplay, large maps, destruction, like people want that. So like, yeah, my biggest takeaway and hope for the success of Battlebit Remastered is that it sends a loud message to DICE that this formula isn't dead. People want a game that plays like the old Battlefields, because I get that vibe when I play it. Granted, the healing's a little bit different. The lack of a mini map is a little bit different, like with the bleeding and the bandages and how med kits work and stuff like that.
It's a bit more squad like.
That's a little bit more squad like, but the rest of it, if you're running around playing and you kind of got that down, it really feels, it gets you like a.
I just bought it yesterday. I haven't launched it yet, so I figure, I was like, I played it a long time ago, and I was like, what, I just need to get over the graphical look of the game.
Yeah.
And just focus on the actual mechanics and the gameplay, because it seems like everyone's having a good time. It beat its record again today.
Yeah.
To 52,000 concurrent
on a Monday.
over.
Yeah. I didn't think it would. Monday, yeah, I didn't think it would be able to beat it again until maybe the weekend. Yeah. But yeah, dude, it's doing well, and if you can get past that, you'll like it. Some people can't. I get that. Some people get into video games for that immersion and those graphics and stuff that looks amazing. This doesn't do that, but I mean, the guns look cool. Like you can put attachments on them for days. You can see the attachments on the gun
was
model.
Hilarious.
There's yes, FU site. There are skins. There's skins galore on the guns, on your character, all that stuff. And the optics, man, they look clean. The optics look good. The gunplay is satisfying. The attachments actually do stuff. I can't, in like 2042, I can't hardly feel like the attachments do anything, but the attachments actually do stuff in this one. And you can really feel that change the weapon. There's a lot of attachments. Another thing that's really cool about the progression of this game is weapons are unlocked with overall progression. So a lot of times, like if you wanted to unlock sniper rifles, you'd have to start with the shittiest one, play the recon class, and level up the recon class and get it. What's really cool is you can level up and unlock better sniper rifles while you're playing medic or assault or engineer or support or whatever. So that's really cool. You're still progressing the other classes while you're playing how you want to. I thought that was a really cool aspect. But I just hope that people can see, and DICE in particular and EA can see that this gameplay loop, like this kind of gameplay, is something that still a lot of people want to have. And if you could get over the graphics, it's good, man. Like the VoIP is hilarious. Being able to drag it down a player, being able to drag an enemy player is hilarious. You can down an enemy.
Oh, dude, I was watching Fry stream, and like they were dragging his body. We got the POW, and Fry's like, "No, you'll never take me alive." And it's just like, I can't think of any other game that has that mechanic that just allows that ability to just drag other enemy players and still talk with them.
Yeah, it was really funny. I got killed just outside of our safe, or I killed a guy just outside of our safe zone, and I actually grabbed him and drug him back across the line so his team couldn't get to him to res him because they couldn't come into our safe zone. So like you do stuff like that. I was watching another one of Fry stream where they were up on a really big aircraft control tower and they killed a guy and actually drug his body and dropped it off the side. And he was screaming and you could hear his like VoIP screaming as it went off in the distance. And
oh, like another real quick clip. I saw Wellen, who's a good streamer YouTuber. He did like a really good quick scope, and even the enemy was like, "Damn, bro!" Like they were complimenting each other on the fact that he got a good quick scope. Even though he died, he was like, "Damn, that was good, bro!" Like,
yeah, you can do that in the VoIP. So you're laying there dead. You can still talk shit. There's some funny stuff. There's the people that when you get in a helicopter and you take across, they'll play, Fortunate Son on their VoIP while you're going across in the helicopter and stuff. So it's just good fun, man. I had some hilarious VoIP moments. And that's the other thing. So there's 127 versus 127 players.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's butter smooth. And I had some crazy medic moments. Just everybody's down on this bridge. There's a bunch of down friendlies, and everybody's just screaming for medics. Just medic. And I'm like, I'm trying. I got you, brother. And I'm dragging him around, throwing smokes, and like just everybody screaming and flanking. And then you get it's kind of cool to talk shit too. Like if you get killed by someone camping in a building, you can say on your death comm, I'm coming back for you, buddy. Okay, go ahead. And then you come back and you can talk shit outside the building and tell them that you're coming in, and like just a ton of fun, dude. And of course,
blow the wall next to them.
It's got a server browser. It's got a squad management system where you can actually kick people out and you can lock it for your friends, and it just works. It's just got everything.
It just works.
It just works. That was the coolest thing to see too. On launch day. I was just chilling. I had it in their background. The devs were doing like a Discord stage just as they kicked the servers on and stuff. And it went live at a certain time. Clean was streaming. And they're like, okay, I just refreshed 4,000 players in. I just refreshed 10,000 players are playing. 15, 24. Like, and all these players are just getting in these servers and it just ran like butter.
It ran. That's the best part. I mean, even like, RP World War III with those servers, they just couldn't handle over 11,000.
Right. And I mean, these were just the servers were spinning up and scaling up, and you can play that many players, and it's just smooth as butter.
No desync between players either. There's not a time where you would probably feel like you're getting killed behind the wall because of this or that. Maybe ping might be an issue depending on where people are playing from, but that's just kind of just with the territory.
But you can get in the server browser and find the server and search for the lowest ping. Like even that.
Exactly too. Exactly. Nice. So it's,
there's a lot of game modes too. Like Frontlines is back. I can't remember. There's a money cash mode, like the one from Battlefield Hardline where you get cash off down players and you have to deposit it in the money truck.
Yeah.
So it's neat. I remember talking about this game on this show, like when we first started this show, like 75 weeks ago, talking about how it was so interesting to just throw out graphical realism out the window and give yourself a base to focus on literally every single other aspect of the game, and how much the low poly design frees you up to be able to do some really cool other stuff. And they did it. They hit it on all fronts, man, with the vehicles, to the server browser, to the VoIP, to like the really crispy
even with the low poly, the lighting in the game is still pretty good too.
The lighting isn't cool. I think they could really work on adding some more simple textures like inside and stuff would be really cool and help. It's like outside when you're running around seeing all the buildings and the grass, it looks good. And it's like you get into a building and it's just a one flat texture. I get it. I understand it's part of the game. I think they're working on it though. I think Clean said that they're going to be adding more textures to some of the flat.
Because you know why? Because now they have all the other mechanics in place that works fine. So now they can go in and just tweak a couple things here and there, and start adding content.
The candid sites work really good too. I love all the sites in there in the weapon attachments and stuff. There's just a ton of weapons, shitload of maps. They already did a post-launch map before they even launched. Would you call that a pre-launch map? I don't know. I've never seen it before. They teased and put in a new map like a couple days before launch. So it was really cool.
A pre-post
launch DLC live service preseason. So it's exactly what it was. But no, it was just sweet to see a game launch buttery smooth. I know they've been working on it a long time,
especially nowadays,
and it's cool to see. It was cool. I like the leaning too. The movement's a little weird. Drop shotting was really strong. I did notice that. Oh, the other thing that's really neat, I heard from Clean on his stream, how they're banning like racist and toxic players that are just, you know, trying to be edgelords and be stupid. When you report somebody for VoIP, it caches their previous 30 seconds of VoIP and people can review that. So it caches and saves their VoIP, and then they have a team that goes through and listens to those and actually bans people.
Wow.
So like in Call of Duty,
how big is the team? Yeah, like how big is the team now?
There's I think there's like 7 main developers, so not very many. So I don't know how that's gonna go, like how that's gonna keep up. I bet that job would be absolutely miserable.
Guys, I don't know if these guys get any sleep, you know?
Dude, how shitty would that job be, going through and listening to people's VoIP? Oh.
Yeah, just over and over, because you notice hundreds of reports coming in.
Yeah, you can see on the feed when people get banned. There's a lot of people getting banned for it, so it's pretty cool to see you trying to keep it clean. And I think
you can see it being banned live while you're playing.
It has a little feed that says so and so banned for racism, so and so banned for whatever. And it's really cool. They're giving when people have custom servers and stuff, they'll have those ban tools, and they're working on more ways for the community to handle the bans and help kind of police themselves and help out. They're also going to be adding a new kind of anti-cheat called Face It that they're still working. It's got easy anti-cheat for launch, but a new better anti-cheat's coming called Face It. So hopefully it does well, and they have enough people to focus on that and keep it clean, because it's a lot of fun. I had some really good times, and the interaction with players is gold. Occasionally it gets a little tedious if you're on a shitty team with the spawn and die, but you just have some moments in there that crazy stuff happens, and it's so worth it. It's so fun. So yeah, I'm excited to hear what you think after you play it. I
played it before a long time ago, and I thought it played great. It's just, you know, I got spoiled with graphics.
Yep. But to that effect too, if you give it a chance and you kind of use your imagination a little bit, it
starts to just blur out like of the way.
Well, to me, it feels kind of like its own world, like its own immersion that you get into. It's kind of the reason I tell this. Like, I kind of actually like to watch adult cartoons like Family Guy and Bob's Burgers and that kind of stuff. And it's part of the reason is like you can really, when you're watching the stories, you can really get into that world because it has its own distinct look. And I feel like Battlebit's kind of that way. Like, if you kind of detach from reality a little bit, you can actually still get immersed in a game like this, in my opinion. And it's its own world. It's kind of a different fantasy cartoon world, but it's pretty cool, man. It's neat. It's cool. It's cool to see someone approach a shooter in a completely different way from what we've been seeing. Instead of chasing realistic graphics, they chased gameplay, and to see it succeed is
performance.
Is super cool. So that's Battlebit.
Good stuff.
And we'll see what it does in the coming months, and if people stick around. I hope people stick around. That's the other thing I want to address. There's some weird people hating on it, dude, and I don't know why. Like,
you're always gonna get haters regardless, but
true. But there are people saying like that the game was like lazy, like, oh, it's doing well, they launched a game like this. They mistake the graphics and the low poly design for being lazy, and for people that see it, they think it's like they just took this game and whipped it together in like a couple months. It's just people that don't understand like how long it took and like how much is actually going on behind the scenes in the netcode to have 44 weapons, 18 maps, vehicles, classes, and 250 players on the same server shooting bullets at each other, and it works. Like, it's
just works.
People that don't know. And then people are going to say it's going to die really fast, but then I'm like, dude, it's $15. I've already played it for like 30 hours and had a great fucking time, and if it dies,
and you can still keep going. Yeah, it's not going to die anytime soon. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, when
Roblox is still alive, that game's not gonna die. Dude, I'm sorry.
If you're chilling at 52,000 players and it's rising, you're gonna be able to get your $15 out of it before it dies, because that's how much you spend to go to a movie and watch for 2 hours. So just quit trying to hate. If it's not for you because of the graphics, that's fine.
You know, talk about it and like try it out themselves. They just fall in love with the game and the gameplay.
Yeah, I'm excited to play it again. I've been still addicted to Siege in this season, but this is my when I'm
hit me up next time you play Battlebit. We gotta play that for sure.
Let's do it, dude. It's fun. And I'm not when I'm not feeling like the mental fortitude to get into ranked Rainbow Six, this is such a fun game to get on and just screw around and run around.
Just play, yeah. Just silly. Get in, get out, man. There's definitely some. There's games that I need to be able to do that with. Yeah.
Yep. So the next one that we're going to talk about over here is XDefiant. This one launches really soon. The open beta starts in a couple days. Call of Duty clone. There's a lot of pluses and minuses to this game, and everyone has kind of an opinion on it. I'm going to give it a chance. I don't think I have a sneaky feeling that I'm not going to be really interested in this game until they add a search and destroy mode. I'm just addicted to that bomb round based type gameplay. I don't think I'm going to get super into it, but I'm going to give it a chance because I really appreciate what they're doing. I know they started off on the wrong foot with the Tom Clancy saying everybody was pissed off about that. But dude, Mark Rubin has been so transparent on Twitter, just answering everybody's questions. He's been putting out like behind the scenes posts on how 128 hertz is going to work on console, why they did the certain decisions that they've done. He talked about how the net code has been rough and they've been working on it, and this is going to be the first beta with the new net code. So I'm excited to see if it plays better. So one thing that I'm rooting for them, I want to see a executive producer that's so accessible and transparent on Twitter. I want to see him succeed and that to catch on around the industry. The other thing, the amount of playable content in this game feels like an old school game. 14 maps at launch. Yep, 14 maps at launch. An unlockable faction that you can unlock in the open beta. 5 factions, 5 different modes so far, and 24 weapons with over 44 attachments on them. So a lot of content there, and right off the bat. So we're talking, I know they're smaller, but like twice as many maps. Some of the progression style, twice as many maps as Battlefield at launch. I know they're different sizes. I know. Stop it. I don't need those. I know both games. Okay. I don't need those comments. Get it. But the progression maps are actually pretty big. Where you move the payload. And then for a free-to-play game, this honestly is the other thing that got me really excited and appreciative, to be honest with you, the roadmap. So there are going to be 12 new maps within the first year. So it's going to be like old school map packs, you guys. There's going to be DLC days, and you're going to get new maps to explore, and it's going to take you more than an hour to check out all the new maps, which would be neat. New battle passes, 3 new weapons each season. So after year 1 in a free-to-play game with a free-to-play DLC, you're going to have 26 maps. And what was that? 28 weapons plus 12, like 50 weapons or something? 40 weapons? How many weapons? So you're going to get 12.
Yeah.
I don't know.
40. I think you're mixing up the attachments.
40, yep. There'll be like 40 weapons at the end of the first year. Because 28 plus 12.
Quick maths.
Boom. No big deal. And
we went to school. We went to public school.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, very public. So there you go. I think it's pretty cool. So I want to see it. I want to see it succeed based on those things.
I don't really have anything to say about it yet either, because it's just I didn't get a chance to play it the first time. And I was one of those guys when, the Tom Clancy name was out, I was upset. And I just, I'll give him a chance. I'll try it out. I'm not going to say no right away. I mean, and I think about it too, there's other games out there. If people are complaining about, the Tom Clancy franchise or the just Ubisoft franchise in general, bringing in different, types of characters from different games, there's other games that do that already and they're popular.
Right. It just didn't need to be Tom Clancy. And
they just got rid of the name.
It's
cool seeing. I guess it's kind of cool seeing maybe like DedSec, I guess, eventually fight against like the cleaners, which is kind of interesting. But
yeah, I'm not super thrilled about the kind of cartoony setting and stuff. But at the same time, that did kind of work in some of the like Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4 games, because
it did very well. Yeah,
because even though it's cartoony and crazy sometimes, it gives you just a lot of different replayability and a lot of variety. Because like with Call of Duty right now, 2/3 of the maps are sectioned off from the BR map, so it all feels like the same map, and it gets really boring really fast. Like having all this wide variety of different places to fight is pretty cool, and it feels, I don't know, it just feels like there's more replayability and more variety in the maps, which I kind of like. The game really feels like Black Ops 3 with no jetpacks and wall running. Is kind of how it feels. It feels like
yeah,
with the specialist and with the settings and everything.
Simple
And
base computer.
I'm cool with it. I just want to give like my personal shout out for whatever it's worth for that amount of playable content, that many maps, that many weapons, and even better, that much promised DLC for free is really
Which
commendable.
means it's still viable. Because we always complain about live service games and the lack of content, stuff like that. So it's cool to see nowadays that it's still a viable way to put out a game, and it's free to play. That's the biggest part too, that you're not paying any money for this, let alone like if it was $60 and you got a map a year, you know?
Yeah. Who did that? Battlefield. But that's the thing about when live services came about. We didn't fight it because we thought, oh, there's nothing that explicitly says we need to have less content.
With tons of content.
Yeah, we expected we were going to get the same amount of content for free. We're
plus
done.
Extra.
Yeah, plus more cosmetic stuff. So that's the big thing that was like, there was nothing saying that they had to drastically reduce post-launch content when they went to live service. They just did that on their own, and that's something that a lot of us, including myself, didn't expect. So it's cool to see like an old school premium amount of DLC maps coming in a live service game, and I hope it's successful for that reason.
Big, company as well.
And I think with how people are upset with Call of Duty, like how that game feels, how it's running, how their PR team's working and stuff, I feel like this could have an audience.
I think people will leave Call of Duty just for the way they responded to the whole Nick Merck situation and just all that stuff. I think people will flock over, and also just the lack of content for Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah, I think
specifically that one.
I think there'll be some multiplayer refugees from COD that'll keep this game going, because DMZ and Warzone get 90% of the content in the Call of Duty. And if you're an arena player, if you're a Respawn player or like a COD multiplayer fan, this will be great. You're gonna get the content over here. There'll be a lot more to play. The game modes don't do it for me because they're COD clones and they're kind of boring to me. But Search and Destroy, I think, will be great. I think the maps will be really fun for Search. Mark Rubin said it is coming, so I am going to play it. I'm going to play it a little bit at launch to get a feel for it, feel how the netcode is, and how I think it's going to be like the basis of a shooter. But if they do Search and Destroy and they do it really well, I think that kind of tactical gameplay is where specialists kind of fit in, because it, instead of just like randomly dying to an ultimate or whatever, you actually have to think about and decide what round you want to like pop your ability. And then it also goes into the tactic of what specialists you place from a team play component. Like certain specialists play well off of each other. The way Rainbow Six is, I feel like where they have these kind of heroes from these different factions and stuff could really add another layer to Search and Destroy. So I'm gonna sink some hours into it when they add S&D. And Mark Rubin did say they were going to. So that I'm not gonna play probably too much until then. But when they do that, I'll be in.
Yeah, I'm ready to try it out when it actually comes out. I'm not gonna keep trying to keep getting into the beta and not actually getting into the beta.
This one's open, so you can download. This one's open.
That's true. Actually. Yeah.
All right. Next one.
Next.
Did you see the Arc Raider stuff?
For. I did. Yeah.
That new trailer's wild, dude.
Dude, people were already hating on that one too. I had friends that were reaching out like, "Oh my god, you guys are never happy."
No, dude. There's a lot of people that are angry because it switched off of PvE. A lot of people expected it to be PvE and were excited for PvE. I guess there's a community for that. And they're mad. They're pretty mad.
They're mad.
But
So
no, I made a
PvE,
really stupid
PvPVE. Yeah.
PvPVE.
PvPVE. Yeah, that's very.
PvEVP, or is it EVPVP? Who's
Shit.
first? I don't know.
Chicken or the egg.
But this is the first time we saw some like pretty raw gameplay. And there was some interesting stuff in there. I made a huge error in my video. A few people called me out on it. I feel stupid, but I just let it go. I thought the dude running across the street, the guy that's getting looted right there with the big horns, I thought he was one of the aliens. I thought he was one of the raiders, but I guess all the raiders are I guess all the raiders are going to be robots. So, and he wasn't a robot, so I was off there. But you can see like potential in this trailer, revive mechanic, and all this is announcing an alpha, closed alpha that comes out in 10 days. I think it was on the 29th. So people will be able to play it. It is unfortunately under NDA. I'm really hoping that I get into it, because traditionally, like with the finals, you were still able to talk about it. You were able to show stuff. You weren't able to record anything, but you're still able to talk about your experience, if it's like the finals early access was. So, man, Embark Studios is popping off, but they showed this new gameplay. You can see the revive mechanic. You can kind of see how third person's going to look, love it or hate it with that. You can see
I don't know, is there a crosshair, is it, don't really see anything with that, so I'm curious. I mean, is it every time you ADS? But I mean, also looks like he was ADSing at that giant robot, there was no crosshair either, so I couldn't tell if that was actual gameplay or a cutscene, or I don't know.
Right. And then it kind of showed the microcosm of the whole game, where they ADS with a sniper rifle, and they had a choice to either shoot the other player or shoot the AI or alien.
That drone robot
so you can kind of they talk about on the Steam page.
I mean, I'm shooting the player instantly. I don't care.
Yeah, you can't trust anybody out there, man. You gotta eliminate the worst threat. So get out. You're done. I'm shooting the player 10 out of 10 times. Okay. But the graphics, even in the raw gameplay for pre-alpha, looks great, stupid, dude. It looks stupid. I hope there's some frames to be had. I'm a little worried about that, but because I think where it was a co-op game, you probably had a better chance of being better optimized. But now where the servers and CPU stuff's gonna have to handle PvP, I'm a little worried about how it'll run. But excited to get hands on. I hope I make it. And then at the end, you can see the person looting the guy with the horns, and the guy's about to pull a GTA 6 and smoke him in the back with a pipe and take all the stuff. So, or
maybe he was gonna tap him on the shoulder and go, "Hey pal, how you doing?"
Hey man,
maybe
you don't know. Got the stick here.
It's not even a gun; it's just a PVC pipe.
Dude, he was about to hit him in the back of the face. That's right, back of the face. I said back of the face. So yeah, Arc Raiders is coming. Check it out. If you guys want some more information, I did a video breaking down the trailer a little bit, and then also if you go on the Steam page, that's where you sign up. So I pulled that up to show you guys really quick. If you guys do want to sign up, here's the Steam page, and if you scroll down right here where it says Arc Raiders playtest, I've already requested access, but there'll be a green button here that says request access. You can find it there, and then if you also go on the Steam page, just Google search or search on your Steam page Arc Raiders, and it'll pop right up.
I've already requested, just double checking, we're good.
If you scroll down, there's some interesting stuff. I talked about it a little bit in my video, but there's some interesting stuff about gameplay.
I'm very curious to see the recommended specs.
What's recommended?
The system requirements. I know it's not there yet. They're all like to be determined. Mm-hmm. So I'm very curious to see, because people are putting out some games that require some beastly PCs now.
Yeah, this might be one of those, especially the way the finals ran. I feel like the finals is still chugging pretty good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the finals is. We'll get into that.
Well, let's do it. Let's get into it right now. I think that's pretty much it for Arc
Raiders. Yeah, we're pretty good at Arc Raiders. Yeah. So the finals.
What's going on with you?
Time into it, man.
Did you?
I did, yeah. Buddy of mine reached out. I was like, "Hey, I got some codes," because I guess when you get access, you get 2 extra codes as well too.
I didn't know that, or I would have given you a code.
Yeah, well, apparently I didn't even know it either, and apparently I had access to it, or someone gave me a code a while ago that I just don't remember. So he gave me the code, and I was like trying to put it in. I was like, "It's not working," and I looked at my library. Oh, it's in my library. Just got to install it. Okay, cool. All right, let's play. So we tried it out, and dude, it was actually a lot of fun. I will say that from the get go. I was not expecting to be um I mean, to be honest, the destructibility of the buildings was a really cool aspect. There's the three classes. There's light, medium, and heavy, and then of course, the heavy guy is just running around with the
Tanks.
explosives and yeah, tanky guy, and then you got the medium guy. It's just like your standard assault trooper, but and the light guys. Oh my god, they're fast. They're like little tiny dudes with like double barrel shotguns and SMGs or a sword,
And they go invisible.
and they're just ching, 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 ching. Yeah, dude, we were like, oh my god, we were like sitting there extracting some of the money from one of the vaults. And first of all, that game mode, love it. I thought it was a little bit too cheesy with the announcer and stuff like that, but actually getting to it feels same thing with Battlebit. You're in their world.
Yeah. It's immersive in its own way. It's not realistic immersive, but it's immersive in its own storytelling way.
It's like when you when you load up the game, it goes like press space to insert coin. So it's like you're playing a video game, and then you're playing to just get fame and fortune and stuff like that. So you got like the intro scene, and then like the really cool part is like when you load into a map, it's you running down like the tunnel hallway and then jumping into the arena, which is like that pumps me up every time for some reason.
Yeah,
it's like,
and the announcer and the
go.
crowd and stuff, like the crowd gets into it. And
I didn't get to experience any of like the events yet, but I've only played like 4 games. So I thought they would happen every game, but I still haven't seen one.
We get a few. I saw the orbital lasers one, the meteor shower one, the dead go boom one. I've seen a few of them. I played a couple hours with Big Fry. And those little guys that go invisible and run around, there was a really good one that we were playing against, but he was dressed up. His cosmetics looked like Michael Jackson. So every time he would like try to get us and stuff, I'd be like, hee hee, like, cause it was like Michael Jackson. And then we just started calling him hee-hees. Like the little guys that the little guys that run around. He's like, oh shit, I got a hee hee on me. I got a hee hee, and like.
I'm so calling it that, dude. Yeah, I'm so calling it that.
So we were calling the light builds all hee hees, and then they're so fast, and they go invisible, and then appear and slice you with a sword. It one shot you, and it's like.
It was good. I mean, as a heavy, they don't one shot me, which was nice, but it was still, interesting to see the dynamic between, because it was like when I got into because I was playing solo for a bit. Solo's tough. That was tough because you gotta have a team, your team together. Yeah,
stay sane.
I realized to stay sane first of all, and even like get close to getting second place if that's the case. But when I actually got into a team, we out of 4 games we won 3. I will say though, we ran into a blatant hacker.
Already
in one of the matches already.
No,
like, and I didn't want to believe it at first. I was like, oh, maybe he's just that good, but he was also running an SMG, and those SMGs at long range, right, are not accurate. They have like a really weird spread on them. This dude is beaming us from across the map, on top of buildings, tracking us through walls, no matter what we would do. And that's that. I mean, he was like, what's the average like kills that you would see in a game? Like I've seen some 20 bombs. I've seen some, big
15
numbers.
20 is a real good game. I feel like.
Yeah, he was 45 kills.
Wow. Okay.
So there is a pretty decent report function, but still like. Oh man, and I think it's because easy anti-cheat is so old. It's not reliable anymore.
I'd like to take this moment to plug anybrain.gg AI anti-cheat.
I'm
so hopeful for that, man.
Highly benefit from AI anti-cheat.
I don't know if it works well or not. It just sounds so badass.
But regardless, like anything other, Face It, in my opinion, is better than easy anti-cheat.
I don't know for sure. I think people cheat about everywhere, but
true, but still, like it's that was the only issue I ran into. But
cheating in a closed beta test, fun.
In a closed beta test too. Yeah, like, and you could tell he wasn't even trying when you would see him shoot from like that. It was like a church, and we were all the way in the bottom, and just beep 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 beep, beep just taking dudes out left and right behind walls. Just um, it is what it is. But I still had a great time. I mean, it was the cosmetics earning. I love how you can like choose what you progress to unlock, which is really cool aspect of the game. You know, there's I don't get why there's already a store in game. I know they gave you like 10,000 in-game credits.
I think it's just to kind of maybe even test what people buy, and also test like the unlock rate of the battle pass, and like kind of how they're gonna set the rate, like how much people play. That's my guess. That's my only guess. I don't know.
For just testing. Yeah, but it's that's not even a big deal. I would say I'm curious how much content is gonna come out.
Yeah,
of the game.
Yeah, because that one type of game mode on only 2 maps would get pretty old if like that's the whole game. I hope there's quite a few more maps and stuff.
Yeah, I don't think that's the whole game, but even so, like if it's like 2 maps and it's just different weather over and over again, that's not enough for me to really keep coming back.
Right.
But dude, it was the destructibility on that
it's neat.
So cool. Like the fact that I could see a vault and we can steal it by blowing the floor underneath it and having it drop down to the floor below, and like we were like, oh, a friend put up a radar, the little like, pulse radar, I guess you can call it. We saw there was guys up top. He's like, oh, they're above us. I was like, okay, cool. Took an RPG shot down. They dropped down. We took them out. Just like that was cool. That was really interesting, and it's like very dynamic too, because it's not. It doesn't seem like when you in destructibility in other games, like take like Old Bad Company 2, it's like the building blows up the same way every time. Where in this game, it's like chunks fall off different parts, and it just feels very like dynamic in that way.
It's crazy, and like I can't imagine the type of netcode that has to go into that to make that also happen on the server and replicate on everybody else's client.
Like, everyone at the same time. Yeah. Crazy. And the particle. I mean, I was running it on ultra. I would say I was getting about 80 FPS. It would dip down to like 75, 70 if there was a lot of action. There was like a guy with a flamethrower, building exploding. It was like, but average, like it was like 80 to 90 FPS, and I'm running a 2070 Super. So, and I think the recommended was a 2080 Ti for like the recommended. So I'm just like right below it. So that's why it's like. It is a pretty intensive game.
They did add for this test. They added a lot of graphic settings. So if you are having trouble with frames, check it. They added FSR. They added DLSS and
turn off RTX.
Yep, they added all that
help
stuff.
Out a lot.
So there's a lot more different ways you can try for your rendering to get better frames.
I mean, I was even running RTX. It was still pretty good, but
yeah, it was cool. I thought really personally. Cool I thought this second beta test played way better than the first one. I really wasn't feeling it after the first one. And then they hopped into this one.
I'm glad I think came in now.
I think they made really good changes to balance the game modes to keep it competitive all the way through. I think they also made really good changes to gunplay and netcode. The netcode is noticeably better this time.
There was one time I died behind the wall and I was like, that's just the, play test. Hopefully they get that figured out. But
there were still some hiccups this go around, but the first one was like
that bad
or worse. So I'm happy with the progress. Like I'm excited for release again. I wasn't for a while.
I'm excited for the future of Embark Studios because of this, because of Arc Raiders. I'm very excited.
They're doing really well
because man, like if they can get this technology into other games, I'm gonna be so happy.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. But the game looks cool. I enjoyed it. I can see myself playing it every now and then. Just quick games, get in, get out.
Yeah,
cosmetics fit the universe.
There's some interesting stuff on the horizon from Dice Refugees. You also have TTK Games working on a shooter too. So a lot of the people that left Dice are making some cool stuff. Yeah. So the finals is going on. It's almost over, I think. But kind of when the finals,
a couple more days. Yeah.
When the finals ends, the next XDefiant kind of starts, and then we'll get into.
Just curious when the next time, if the finals come out next, if it's going to be an open beta. I would prefer an open beta to get more people in to really break down those servers.
I think they'll probably. I would guess, because what's really cool, that's another thing, this is an actual beta. Like, they're making feedback and changes. It's not like a demo like Call of Duty does like 3 weeks before launch. It's a beta, guys. Like, this is an actual beta where they're working on fixing stuff and changing stuff and balancing stuff. So that's really cool. But I would expect them to have like what, another, wouldn't you think they do like another open test on PC, and then they would probably want to run a console one with crossplay and test that out and then
for
launch.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
I feel like there's gonna be 2 more betas before launch.
You should just go run Embark Studios.
I'll do it.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll sort it out. Don't even worry. The map team would hate me. I'm gonna need more of these maps. How many do you have? Oh, right, that's a lot, but I don't think you heard me. I said more maps.
More. How many maps do you want? Yes.
All of them. Like on Parks and Rec, when he wants all of the bacon and eggs, and the waiter starts to leave, and he's like, "Come back." I don't think you understood what I said. Hear me. I want all the bacon and the eggs.
The way he just nods, like it's like, "You've had a long day, haven't you?" I love Ron Swanson.
He's my spirit animal.
Yep.
Okay. 6 days in Fallujah. I'm gonna need your help here. This is launching soon.
I'm here.
This is launching real soon, man.
I'm a little worried. I know you're so held up on the procedural generation.
I want to see it.
Maps. It's cool. I'm just worried, and I think also games of that category are running into the same issue right now.
I'm playing your video right now.
Hell yeah. There's no there's not really any progression, and gamers need that, in my opinion. There's no, it's there's a couple maps. It's it's all Fallujah, different like sections of Fallujah, but it's all in Fallujah. And then you just kind of for me at least, we were only able to play one game mode. But even then, I would try out a different game mode to, go in and check it out. And basically, each one is the same. It's like you go in as your 4-man squad, or you could play solo if you want to try. It's really tough doing it solo. And going in, and you go in, you take out an objective, maybe a secondary objective, and then that's it. You might have to hold against a wave of insurgents, but then after that, then you just cycle and repeat over and over again, seeing the same cutscenes over and over again. And I'm worried about the replayability for this game. That's what I'm really worried about, because now games like, in my opinion, games like Ready or Not, where they're running into that issue. Yeah, there's mods. It's cool. It's a thing, but there's no progression. There's no reason for me to keep coming back and grinding out the game. And I think that's what's going to happen with 6 Days of Fallujah. I'm glad there's a campaign as well, too. It's going to take you through the stories of the actual Marines that were there. And the fact that this game, and I when I was doing research on this game, because I wasn't really, into this type of game back then, 2009-ish, 2010, when it was originally announced in 2009, and it was slated to release in 2010. And people were, of course, the whole like, it's too realistic, no war veteran would want this game. But it's like, veterans are actually making the game. People that were in Fallujah during that time were part of the team, so clearly that's not the case. I forgot, I lost my train of thought where I was going with that. But anyways, yeah, replayability is what I'm worried about. It's not canceled. That's a good thing. And it's just, I'm curious with the campaign, how long that's going to be. For the price too, I'm not too, I think it's maybe like, I forgot the actual price of the game thing.
$40.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Hold on. $39.99.
$39.99 plus tax and applicable fees in your area.
So it's like for $40, a couple game modes, one campaign. I don't know how many people are gonna. It's gonna be a very niche market. So I hope they at least make successful funds over from that very small niche market.
I would have to say, from what I've seen, I agree. I worry about what people are going to think that they're getting for $40, and they're not going to think about all the research, all the storytelling, the documentary aspect of it, that probably went into that price tag. As gamers, you just kind of think, you know, what am I getting for $40 from a gameplay perspective? And yeah, I'm worried that people aren't looking at the whole picture, and it might be a tough sell for some people, especially when you talk about. I've heard a lot of people, the catchphrase kind of 4 maps for $40 seems pretty crazy.
Yeah,
and I know it's deeper than that. It's more complicated than that for everything that went into this game.
It has a long history. It went through like, and then I was doing some more research and went through, you know, it went from Konami originally was the main publisher, and they canceled out on because of all the controversy. Sorry, right. I say it the crash way. And then, you know, and then the guy who originally was running it was like, you know, screw it, I'll have my company that I made back in 2016 run it, and that was Victura. So, and then they brought in the secondary developer contracted team. So it's had some time to kind of just sit and do its thing. But is it too late? I don't think so. I think people should still know about the Battle of Fallujah, what happened in that, you know, that time. I'm a big fan of history in general, so it's cool to see the stories of the Marines that were there going to be in the game itself. There's like certain, like when you're loading in, you can see certain quotes from people that were there of like talking about their time in. But so far, I can't say too much either, because I'm still on the fence about it, because I was only allowed to play one game mode. So it is what it is.
We will see. Time will tell. It comes out Thursday, right?
Time will tell. Right? Yeah, very, very soon. Yeah, it's
this
cool.
week.
So yeah, I'm definitely gonna get it. Definitely gonna try it out, because I don't think my current build is gonna be like the full game. I don't think they gave me. I think it's gonna be like, oh, they're gonna revoke it and then you're gonna buy it again.
Oh, gotcha. I filled out the thing to ask for a key to make a video about it, and haven't heard.
To be honest, they were doing it very weird, because there's definitely some guys that should have had it that didn't, and I'm just like, and I reached out to the guy, and he's like, hey, what are we, you know, do you mind sending them a key? He's like, well, we're getting close to a release, and if it wasn't for Tacti reaching out on my behalf just to be like, hey, this, you know, it was, I just happened to get it like right before they stopped giving out keys. So
gotcha. I saw the tweet on Twitter about signing up for a creator, because I'd like to try it. So I filled it out.
I think it's just taking keys though. I think it's just like you'll be able to give out keys, I think.
Oh,
I'm not so sure how that works.
No, this one I read it. It talks about they expect you to make a video within 14 days about the game. If you
true. That's true. Yeah, there's a time frame. Yeah, you're right.
So I filled it out. We'll see if they give me one. Otherwise, if it's just me, I'm probably gonna just watch some of your videos and stuff. But if I get a key, I'd like to squad up with you, Gordon.
Definitely, for sure. Yeah, you know what? I'll see who I can reach out to kind of.
Oh, no worries.
Maybe push that, but we'll see.
All right then. Yeah. So keep an eye on that. That's coming out Thursday, and it's gonna be interesting to watch how that comes out. I had one more story, and then Blue had one that he sent me, so we can.
I want one quick shot. Okay.
Yep, we can do it. We can pump through these really quick. This kind of just came out before we went live, so this is kind of borderline breaking news. Insider Gaming, Marathon made a lot of waves with that trailer. That was one of the big W's from Game Fest, in my opinion. And Tom Henderson at Insider Gaming got some exclusive early details about gameplay. So Marathon is going to be a 3-person extraction shooter with features you might find familiar, like Tarkov. But they reached out to their source, because they broke the news that this was going to be a game first. So they actually have a source, apparently, that knows what's up. And let's just talk about some of the gameplay stuff that came out, and I'll get your opinion on it. He said, one of the biggest and potentially controversial features with the game is an oxygen system. All players have a limited oxygen supply that essentially acts like the match countdown timer. Once the player loses oxygen, you begin to lose health. Extracting before you run out of oxygen and health is the goal. But players can also find O2 canisters in the match or subsequently buy them at an expensive price on the market before heading into battle. That's kind of interesting. So you're kind of in charge of your own raid timer, and I think there's going to be persistent maps and servers, which is something I think is going to be kind of cool, and limit predictability of matches, unlike Tarkov, where really good players know where spawns are and where people are going to be at about what time. The oxygen system also ties somewhat into the injury system, with certain injuries causing the player to suffer different effects. For example, being shot in the waist area may cause damage to your oxygen supply, which will cause it to deplete more rapidly. Another example given was being concussed, which would cause the player's screen to blur periodically. If your oxygen supply does become a huge hindrance, though, Marathon's ability and perk system can solve that. We're all familiar with perks and abilities. But there's like different ones like faster revives, less O2 usage, faster movement in the water. Abilities are more game-changing and powerful, allowing the likes of night vision to spot enemy outlines. The more the player progresses, the more perks and abilities they unlock. Let's see. Several more interesting details were mentioned several times. The sources that Bungie is aiming for Marathon to be the ultimate live service. To achieve this, the team is aiming to have minimal load times. One source saying that the team is aiming for single-digit load times from ready up to playing on the server. For replayability, it was said that Marathon's maps will have plenty of secrets for players to explore. Presumably, new secrets will come out through the maps throughout game seasons. There's also stuff about having like world first raids where once a squad completes a certain like Easter egg or something, it unlocks that map for everybody in the game. So there'll be cool stuff where you can get achievements and stuff for unlocking content for everyone, which is kind of cool. So they go on to summarize that the core gameplay loop Marathon: choose your mission. Buy and choose your loadout with perks, abilities, and gear. Drop into the server, hunt for loot, complete missions, explore and find secrets, extract, spend XP on updates, and repeat. So the game features 3 different types of items: loot, implants, and perks. In the current game, permadeath is a feature, but it's understood that players will only lose their loot, weapons, artifacts, and currency, whereas implants are sometimes lost and perks are never lost. There you go. Okay. They're developing 3 different maps, but they don't know if all 3 are going to be released at launch or part of the live service.
Kind of reminds you of Hunt Showdown type vibes with that extract and not losing your perks and stuff like that.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm really looking forward to it because the art style looks really cool. I actually remember, not that it's related really in any meaningful way, but I just remember Marathon back in the day, in the 90s on Mac.
Yeah, see, I never got to see that.
So no, this is one that everybody's pretty excited about, and they got to be some details. I like the take on like the countdown timer being something that's on you, right? Like you can spend more time in raid, but you got to find more oxygen.
It's cool to see just the Bungie name again, in all honesty.
On a different game that's not Destiny for the last 15 years, it feels like.
Yeah.
So it'll be cool. Yeah, shout out to the OGs that remember the original Marathon. But all right, Marathon, get excited.
Cool.
You want a quick shot?
Yes, please.
Got you.
Quick shot. There you go. My wife's probably wondering what the hell am I yelling for every time I do that.
That's fine. Okay.
Yeah, so Squad.
They completely changed the game, huh?
They did. Yeah, completely overhauled around June 8th, I would say. I mean, they put the blog out around that time, but I don't exactly when the playtest started. And the playtest ended today, actually. So, and it ended at 11 Pacific Standard Time. So, no more public testing for that. But they added a bunch of new things for Squad. They one of the biggest things that people are already complaining about is the huge suppression change, where even if I'm in a, let's say like I think I saw Drewski put a tweet, like put in a concrete bunker and I'm getting shot at, my screen goes stupid blurry, like to the point where I can't see anything. So it's like, it's good, it's bad. It makes suppression a lot more, usable, I would say, in that game. It definitely slows it down. Shout out to Moy Dog for the videos, well too. Go check him out because I know he definitely is a big squad content creator.
Dude,
but
he's the squad guy pretty much, huh?
Pretty much, yeah.
If you're into squad, you know Moydog, and that's who you should be following.
But yeah, the blog with that basically showcased the suppression changes, all the aim ADSs, gunplay completely changed. There's no like hip firing. It's kind of like point shooting almost, but it's like it's supposed to help with increase your non-ADS reaction time. So it's still, it feels like it's like a work in progress. There hopefully a lot of people gave feedback. Also, going full auto is almost not a thing anymore, which kind of sucks because it's, in my opinion, it's not that hard to control an AR-15 in general. Right. Because it's pretty out there. Like it feels like you're getting punched in the eye by the scope every time. Well, from an M4, and that's not supposed to be the case. So I think they need to tone that down a bit. The picture-in-picture scope, though, the sight itself is amazing. I think it looks really cool. It's cool to see, you know, the effect around inside the scope and stuff like that. But it still needs to be tweaked, especially with the recoil. Because like, if you go into any close quarter battle, or let's say between 100 meters, maybe 200. I mean, 200 is pretty good, but I see between anything 100 back. If you have an ACOG, you're pretty much going to be hip firing or point shooting, I guess in this case, the entire time. But I will say the look and feel of the entire game, like the muzzle flashes, the gas expanding, like the suppression, like it really slows down the game. It really makes it even more immersive. It feels like I'm in a like a movie almost, because of the way your guy runs, the way he reacts to climbing over walls now, the way he swings his weapon around. It's very like your guy like automatically will like look in certain directions almost to be like, you know, it feels like you're in the game more. So it's kind of interesting. It's not, you can't like parkour like you used to before. Your stamina kind of gets a little bit low, especially if you're carrying the rocket launcher, which is kind of BS because holy crap, the AT guy, the AT role in that game is like you never worked out a day in your life. Like he runs for a quick moment, he gets that stamina, and all of a sudden, and then you're running slower. So it's and you're telling your squad, "Hey guys, wait up for me!" Like every 5 minutes. So
they just thought the game was too arcadey and fast, and they completely just slowed everything down.
They slowed everything down. So it's because I like that it's slowed. You actually have to move cover to cover. There's like we were going in clearing rooms, taking everything a little bit more methodically, and then really thinking, because like back then, if there was an open field, I could just run across the open field.
Wait.
But
did I just see a tracer ricochet?
Yeah. Oh, that's been in the game for a minute.
That looks fucking sick, dude. That's real. Looks real as shit. But you see it.
There's some really cool aspects to the game, and the fact that it feels nice to play, but then at the same time, I run into some of those issues. So it's like, because it was weird because like the first time I played it, I was using the ACOG, and I was like, I can't. Let me switch back to the aim point, and then I tried another match just off stream, off recording, just random players, and I had the aim point, and we were actually going in, clearing buildings, holding a town. You know, when we got shot at, we actually like it forces you to quickly get back and take cover, or at least react to contact as fast as you can.
Yeah.
So it's no, it's pretty cool. It's actually really nice. It also has, if people don't know what squad is, it actually also has local vote for your team only. So it was cool. Like yesterday, I was like, separated from my squad, and I had to link up with another squad talking to them, and then we had to hold the town, and it was pretty cool. So
yeah, there's some cool moments. It just, you can get too realistic where it makes it not fun anymore though too.
It is very long too. And that's why I mentioned like the finals, like you just get in, get out and stuff like that. It's nice that I can do that. With squad, you're dedicating some time to that match.
Man, those scopes look really realistic, dude, with like the distortion.
The scopes, yeah, especially on the sniper rifles. Anything like any magnification is very specific. I don't think it really does anything for the red dots and the aim points. But But yeah, for the magnified scopes, so cool. So cool.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't realize it was that drastic of a change. I'd heard people talking about the squad update in passing, but there's some cool moments to be had in that game, and it comes down to the communication and the VoIP and stuff, and like the squad leaders. Because I've only played it a few times, but I had a really cool squad leader one time, and talking to command, and like they want us to hold these sectors on this town, and like so we had to hold it down, and
it's
just cool when that shit happens.
Yeah, when you get those moments, that's when it's like, yeah, okay, I can see why people play this game. And then there's other moments where no one's talking. You're just getting ran 100%. Over by the enemy team. You don't know where you're getting shot at. Now it's even worse because when you're getting shot at, you're getting suppressed even more. So you're just like, I'm just like hunkered behind the rock, don't know where to go. If I step left, I die. If I step right, I die. So
it was already
that's when the game gets really bad.
Yeah, it was already pretty jarring whenever you would get shot at. It with the bullet crack and stuff.
The sound design, dude, we heard like the sound design is very well done as well too. Like we heard like a tank shell fly over our head, and we heard, you know, real quick, just like like we heard it spinning in the air, which is crazy.
The other thing, I'm with you on that. Just to put that, like, to agree with you, this game can be so boring and like you have no idea what's going on, and you're just getting smoked, or you're running around and running out of stamina, and you feel like you're just out of breath and in quicksand the whole time. Or there's moments when you have a really cool squad leader and a cool team that's working together, and it's some of the coolest shit like you've ever done in a video game. It just, I think it all comes down to having like
cover.
Yeah, we had one where we were holding the town, like a little village on one of the maps. And then the squad leader came back onto our comms. He's like, all right, they're going to come pick us up with chopper. They're dropping us behind enemy lines. We're pushing sectors, like whatever. So they came and picked us up in the bird and took us in behind enemy lines, and we dropped in this shit. Man, it was the coolest fucking thing I've probably ever done in a video game. Like all the grass was going from the chopper and stuff, and they let us down, and the chopper took off. And then we started taking fire, and we were all crawling through the grass and shit and trying to push from behind while the other squads were pushing from. It was cool, dude. But it's like, I played like 4 hours of pulling my hair out to get like 10 minutes of the most amazing gameplay I've ever experienced. Like, it was weird. That
is squad in a nutshell, dude.
It was weird.
Literally squad in a nutshell there.
Yep.
I'm curious to see also how this affects the mods in that game, because there's some really cool mods. There's the Star Wars mod, the Galactic Contention, which completely transforms the game to what I guess people say what Battlefront 2 should have been. And then there's the Starship Troopers mod that I really enjoyed as well, that technically started the entire Starship Troopers game. So I'm curious to see how the infantry overhaul works with that, but it's not in the live section yet. And usually every time Squad or OWI, I guess, puts out a update, it breaks a lot of mods. So it takes a couple times, like a month or two, maybe more, for mods to get back. So
yeah, this one really could do that. Yeah. But man, it looks realistic. I might have to hop in just to look through some of these scopes, man. They look insane.
If you do, definitely hop in with me. We'll try to get some guys in. I think we need a good, at least 5-man minimum squad to really have a decent and enjoyable time.
And somebody that knows what's up to be the leader, if you like. But
and also, and not even that, because then like you need like a good commander to be like, you know, kind of talking to the other, you know, squad leaders and giving, you know, artillery coordinates and stuff like that. So,
dude, man, not enough time in the day to check all these out, but I want to.
It's a lot.
There's a lot going on. No, that's neat. I'm glad you brought that up. Is that a show?
That is a show. Good show.
That's a good show. Hour and a half. Sorry for the technical difficulties at the beginning. I'll definitely edit those out of the audio version for sure. And no big deal.
Easy fix. We fixed it.
Shout out production team. But anyway, guys, as far as I know, should be around next week. We'll be able to talk a little bit about, you know, kind of the end of the finals, how that ended up. We could potentially talk about, you know, the kind of the reaction stuff to Fallujah. We'll be able to talk a little bit about XDefiant, if that netcode really is good, and maybe we'll get some time to check out some of these squad updates or something else. There's always stuff to talk about coming up with everything. So we'll have plenty to talk about next week as well, and hope to see you guys there.
Nice.
Anything else?
Don't. Actually, never. I was gonna make a really bad joke. Never mind. We're good. I was gonna say like don't post Discord DMs, I guess.
And remember, kids, don't post Discord DMs on Twitter. Stay safe out there, guys. Thank you so much again. Real quick, if you want to support the podcast, you want to support the show, just be a friend, tell a friend, bring somebody back with you next week, and hang out with us, and we'll have lots to talk about. And I appreciate everyone listening, downloading, and being here so much. Have an awesome week, and hope to see you guys Monday.
Later, guys.